Hi ladies, good to see you here for another session. Today is day 4 of the Women Thrive Summit, and I'm so excited to be delivering this session about how to become an international speaker. Throughout this week, you have seen many incredible stories being shared on our stage, and you may be wondering, how can you become a speaker? You may have been inspired by these stories to share your own story, step into your power, step into your authentic truth. And I'm sure that you have a story that is worth sharing right now. So I'm excited to see you all in a chat joining us this session. Good to see you. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Let me know in the chat if you're joining us today live. I'd love to see you. Aloha's here. Good to see you. Let me know in the chat. And when you have when you're sharing in the chat, do make sure you set your comments to panelists and attendees. So that will help other people see your comments. Let me know where in the world you're joining me from. And let me know if you are already a speaker or you may be an aspiring speaker and looking to take a stage. Now, like I said, we have seen many amazing stories being shared throughout the summit, and there's more to go. There's more incredible stories to be shared on this stage. And you may be feeling like, I'm ready for that next step. I'm ready to take that stage and step into my power as an international speaker. So today we will be doing a practical workshop. I'll be sharing some insights from my own experience of becoming a speaker, sharing my story, and how that has helped me open new doors, new opportunities, and create some truly amazing connections. Over the years of being a speaker, I have connected with so many amazing people around the world, event hosts, people who are doing incredible things, who have offered their opportunities to me to be featured on their stages. So I'm excited to be here. Hopefully the noise isn't going to be too bad because I've got some work going on next door. So who's ready to get started? Aspiring, maybe. Good, Denise. This is going to be fab. Thank you, Claudia. Looking forward to your session. Good morning, everyone from I'm trying. Oregon. That's it, Denise. I got you. Sound is perfect. Okay, awesome. So hopefully ladies will be joining throughout. Good to see you. Good to see you. I can't hear the noise. Amazing. All right. I'm going to share my slides. So hopefully you'll be able to see my slides as we go. I can't believe it's already day 4. How are you enjoying the summit so far? Let me know. So here we are. Hopefully you can see my slides. Let me know if you can see my slides. And we'll begin shortly. So let's see in the chat. I see your chat. See them, Denise. See them. Amazing. Awesome. If anything changes, if there are any tech issues, let me know in the chat as we go. So how to become an international speaker and create a freedom lifestyle, because speaking can really open so many new opportunities. And in just last year, I have been invited to many amazing events and stages. I've been featured on the TV. I was asked to speak on a stage in Canada last year. I tried to get to New York City, but unfortunately there has been still so many travel restrictions. So some of these events I haven't been able to attend, but speaking can really open new doors and new opportunities. So I want to ask you, why do you want to speak? What's important to you? Why now? Why here? Why are you here? And why now? Why do you think it's important for you to share your story? Now, throughout the summit, you may have been inspired by some of our speakers sharing their stories. You may have seen other people speak on stage and you felt like, I want to be there. I want to become an international speaker. There is something within myself. There is a story within myself that needs to be born. I have been speaking for quite a few years. In fact, I've hosted many live events in London. That's how Women in Business started in 2017, because I had an idea to start hosting events for women. So I've been speaking on stages for quite a while, and hosting the Women Thrive Summit for the last 3 years, hosted many panels, as you see here, had some amazing speakers. Some of our speakers have actually flown in from different parts of the world. The furthest we have had someone fly in was from Australia to be on our stage. We had women from New York City, from San Diego, from Atlanta, from Europe, fly into London to be part of our events. And it's amazing to see how far people would go to share their story, how far people will travel to make an impact with the power of their story. And I have been so impressed by the caliber of speakers we have hosted, not only just this year, but across the board over the last 5 years hosting events. I have had the honor and pleasure to work with so many amazing women. And in fact, we probably hosted more than 300 speakers and more than 100 experts on our platform so far. So it has been a journey of working with some amazing, amazing people, but I never really knew my why. I didn't know why I wanted to. I knew that doing events felt inspiring, creating these platforms. I wanted to empower other women in business and help them showcase what they do. And through events, I have been able to help them share their stories, to share their missions behind their businesses. And this was really, really fulfilling to see when women step up on stage and are seen as an authority sharing their story has made a huge impact with our audience. But I never took the moment to ask myself, why do I want to speak personally? And this question was presented to me by my mentor, Mr. Les Brown, when I joined his training program for speakers last year. And during one of those sessions like this, I think in a room we had about 100 people. And on our first session, he turned around to me and he said to me, Raimonda, you're enrolled into this program. Why do you want to speak? Sounds quite simple question to ask someone that just enrolled in the program. But for me, it was more than that. This question really opened up a new can of worms. When he asked me, and I took the second, it was literally maybe a few seconds to reflect on why I wanted to speak and why I was so inspired to become a speaker. It came down to my own personal experience of not having a voice, of going through traumatic experience in my own life during the moments in my life where I didn't have a voice, where I didn't feel confident and comfortable enough to even speak to my own family members. I would avoid phone calls. I would avoid social gatherings. I would avoid any form of social environment so I didn't have to speak because I felt so ashamed of what happened to me, a traumatic experience of being in a highly toxic relationship that left me broken. I felt like I made such a huge mistake and I was so silly to believe his lies. And I found myself in a place where I've lost everything. I lost my personal identity. I didn't know who I was anymore because I blamed myself for every single bad decision I have made. I have felt like looking in a mirror and I was asking myself, please speak. It took me quite a few years to find some kind of confidence where I could move forward. But that particular story, I wanted to bury it so deep inside of myself and never share it again. Until this day, when Mr. Les Brown said to me, why do you want to speak? And this is how I found that purpose in my story of losing my voice, knowing that actually if I have not taken or had the courage to speak up again and use my voice, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be able to empower and inspire other people. And that story, until I shared that story with the world, I was not liberated of it. So sharing our stories of traumas, personal experiences that we have been through can be so liberating. And during this program, what I learned that everybody has a story. These moments when we were in training with Les Brown taught me that we all have a powerful story, but it's how we use that story to impact the world. Now, since coming out and sharing that story and my mission of why I want to become a speaker, Mr. Les Brown on that particular call said, I feel so inspired by what you just shared and what you do to empower other women on stage. Thank you, Ella. So I have been asked on that very day, because of I was vulnerable enough to share my personal story in a room like this, Mr. Les Brown invited me on his stage. That was 1.5 million audience on his Facebook, and I was preparing for Women Thrive Summit last year and said, Raimonda, I want to put you on my stage. I want the world to know your story. And that was because I had the courage to share that story. Since I have been invited to host events for him, train other people, and be part of the inner circle of his community, right? And sharing my story has led to many other opportunities, speaking on various stages, being part of many incredible events, summits, live stages that open new connections and new opportunities. So just a little bit about myself. I know we're connected with most people here today, but just a little bit about myself. So I'm the founder of the Women in Business Club that started back in 2017. Now, over the last 3 years, we've been hosting the Women Thrive Summit. And this has come about because of the pandemic, because our live events, everything that we were doing to empower women on stages have had to shut down due to the pandemic. So Women Thrive Summit has become our annual platform where we're able to host many, many women and reach you audience all around the world to empower, inspire, and create opportunities for us to share our stories. Because when we share our stories, not only we're able to liberate ourselves, but we're able to liberate other people and tell them they are not alone. Through speaking, I've attracted many amazing opportunities, like I said. But more than that, we have been able to pull together a Women Thrive magazine last year. And that is because the work that we have been able to put in have been recognized in the media, have been able to transform so many lives. And you will see throughout the summit, if you're engaging throughout the summit, if you're attending these talks, you will see that your mindset, your life will shift in one way or the other because you're able to take away something from these amazing speakers. So what I want for you is for you to one day to be featured on international stages, to be sharing your story, to be liberated from all the pain and trauma that you may have been through and have never had the courage to step up on stage and share your story. So now over the last 10 years, I've been helping other people to create businesses, create visibility, their brands, to become speakers and mentor many, many coaches, entrepreneurs, and service providers in creating beautiful businesses online. So today we'll be talking about how to prepare for speaking opportunities, how to connect with event organizers, and maybe pitch yourself as a speaker, and what do you need as a speaker in order for you to start landing opportunities, and how to use your even existing network for more opportunities, and actually how to attract your ideal clients through the power of public speaking. So did you know that actually public speaking can help you reach a whole new audience? As you see, our speakers speak on our stage and reach a completely new audience they have never been able to reach before. And by sharing your story, by being seen on stage at events like this or other events that are happening live or virtual, I've been a part of many, many events with thousands of people and attendees. And those stages has helped me build my own expert status, attract new people, be seen in my industry as the go-to person, right? Attracting different clients and helping me share my story. And every time I have shared my story, it just attracted new opportunities. And I have seen some of our speakers on this stage who attracted amazing opportunities, paid speaking opportunities, media exposure, podcasts, collaborations, all of those are within your reach. So who's excited about sharing their story? I'm seeing you in the chat. Amazing. Good to see you. Changing everything, found new me. Denise, yes. It all starts within. It all starts within. So let's use the power of your story to reach the ears, the hearts, and the souls of your ideal clients. There has been times when women, like during the summit, have shared their personal stories. You have just heard the powerful story of Jessica in the previous session. Yesterday, Romel has absolutely killed it on stage. The power of sharing, yes. We heard Coilette. We heard many other amazing stories shared on this stage. But what happens when you actually share your story in a way that reaches not only the ears of your audience, but their hearts and their souls and goes deep? Now, these stories have been shared globally because every time someone hears an inspiring story, they talk to other people and tell your story, and your story spreads. So the power of public speaking is that your name will be mentioned in the rooms where your feet have not stepped into yet, right? The power of your story when you're sharing something about your own journey and someone feels it within their heart and soul, they will go on to tell other people. Your name will be mentioned in other rooms where opportunities are being discussed, where people are asking for speakers on a specific topic. So when you start to make an impact with your story and you become aligned to your purpose and your mission, and you're able to stand in your truth, your story will be shared in rooms where your feet have not stepped into, right? It will be mentioned. Your story will spread. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me after these events and recited the stories of our women on stage. And let me tell you a little secret. For those of you who are first-time speakers or maybe have never taken a stage before, first time, from my observation, what I have seen in many conversations that I have had with the attendees of our events, I have seen that the first-time speakers have made far bigger impact with their stories than the speakers who have many years of experience. And now, why is that? Because the first time you share your personal story on stage, there are many things that played a part, right? There are the nerves, there is that sense of vulnerability, of you opening up about something so personal for the first time. And I always say to speakers, if you're just starting out in speaking, for the first time, don't try to educate on stage. Your purpose on stage isn't to educate, because we as audience only retain 10% of information. Everything else is energy. It's your connection with the audience, and the power of your story spreads because that's how we connect. We connect through storytelling. We don't connect through information. How many times you went to a meeting with a friend or coffee and told them a whole lot of information? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. But really, what do we feel most inspired to share is powerful stories of others, what this person have been able to overcome, to achieve, to create. That's what we feel inspired by. Colette says, your story is valuable. Absolutely. Growth, true, vulnerability and growth. And it's so beautiful to see first-time speakers. And you will see some of them on our stage. Like today, you're going to have Carolina, who will be sharing her personal story of losing her voice. And the reason me and Carolina actually connected in the first place, because I shared that story on Instagram Live for the first time after I have shared it on stage on in Les Brown's training program. I went on and I shared it vulnerably for the first time on Instagram. And this is how she connected with me, because she felt inspired by my story, because she have had similar experience to me, right? She lost her voice for 8 years due to bullying and other the environment that she was in. And through the power of our stories being of a similar, we've been able to create a relation that has lasted now more than a year, right? And there she is sharing her story for the first time on our stage. So your story is valuable and it can be heard and seen by thousands of people. And Denise says, yeah, me too. So Denise was on a previous session and she said, I could relate with you, Jessica. I could relate to what you're saying. I have been there too. We give the power to other people to step into their story. And if you're a mentor, a coach, an expert, this is how you can reach the hearts and souls of your audience and allow your message to spread. So let me just ask you, I just want to pause here. And for those of you listening, I just want to ask you, How could sharing your authentic story change your life? How could it open new doors? What opportunities do you think sharing your story could open up for you? As I said, for me, it has opened many amazing doors, many new connections, like meeting these amazing women who are on stage today. And one of the reasons, and people ask me, how do you get people to follow you? How do you get people to be on board with what you do, right? We have now probably close to 600,000 followers. We have a huge community, these events that where so many people are not only following, but being highly, highly engaged in from speakers to attendees. How do I get to do that? Right? I teach other people how to use social media, how to be visible, how to create content. There are many trainings within our community that we have done, but what is that secret? What is that secret behind people following your mission? And one is to have a purpose, to have a reason, to have a story. If someone, and I share stories, I have become comfortable with coming out and sharing those uncomfortable stories that once I just wanted to hide from. But slowly I started to put my stories in social media posts, in when I write articles for the media, whether I'm writing a blog, whether I'm writing email sequence, whether I'm speaking on stages, I started to infuse my personal story weave it into my content all around. So everything that people are consuming around me, they can get to know me. And people aren't going just to buy your products because your product is great. There are millions of amazing products out there, or services, or coaches, or mentors, millions. And your ideal client has so many options, so many options. But what is going to keep them coming back? What is going to keep them engaged? I had an inbox this morning from a prospective client who's been following me for quite a while. And she said, Raimonda, I need to get on a call with you. When is as soon as you can do it? So, well, I'm running the summit. I really can't right now. And she said, okay, I start on Monday at 7 a.m. Can we chat on Monday morning? I was like, wow, the summit is just over. I said, okay, we'll have a chat on Monday. But I didn't even know that she was impacted by my story. But throughout this journey, I have been consistently sharing my story and making those connections, because now people get to know you through the power of your story. And over time, they become ready to take that next step and work with you. That is the power of your story, right? You can attract not only clients, opportunities, but help other people to see your mission, your purpose, or where you're going, and be part of that mission, to be part of that journey of your own growth, to attract these people to be on this journey. So stories, Denise's show of inner growth for myself, validation for me, validating yourself and accepting your story, accepting and being sort of getting rid of those chains that's holding us back, of hiding. How many times you've been hiding behind the scenes of saying, I don't know what to write on social media, right? If you had those moments of not knowing what to share, put a 1 in the comments. If you have had those moments where I don't know if my story is interesting, powerful, transformation, can it help someone? Have you had those thoughts? I had those thoughts myself. That is one of the reasons why I've hosted so many other people on our stage, because I didn't always believe in the power of my story. I leaned on other speakers and experts to deliver content for our platform because I didn't always have that belief in myself. And only by liberating myself, I have been able to step into my power and step into my shoes and now be able to lead others with it. Carrie says, open doors to connecting with others and building know, like, and trust factor. Absolutely. So here's what speaking can help you with. This is from my own experience, right? Denise says, throw off the chains. Yes, we feel like we're held back because we're not able to step into our authentic selves, our true selves, because we are held back by shame, by fear, not having that confidence, questioning whether we're good enough, questioning whether our story matters. But once you go through that process and you step into your story, and we talked about stepping into your hero story in the previous session, this is when you become authentic. How connecting was the previous session, right? How inspiring was talk delivered by Jessica or Ramel or Colette or other people on our stage? So sharing your story and becoming a speaker can create a huge impact. It can attract your ideal clients. It can create impact in the world and help others. It can save lives. I have seen speakers who have spoken their truth about maybe committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide, or going through drug addictions, going through moments of loss and complete breakdown. And they share their stories and they've been able to save lives. How can your story save somebody's life today? There's impact. There is a ripple effect to you sharing your story and standing in your power and in your truth. Just a simple social media post can change somebody's lives. So you can become a sought after speaker by sharing your story, because someone has heard your story and they want to hear them. They want to have you on their podcast, on their stage, on their event. It helps you position yourself as an expert, because instantly you are seen as an expert. Once you become confident in speaking your truth and confident in speaking about your story, you become an expert and seen as an authority. Once you combine it with your business skills, you become an expert, and your story is just a way to connect with people on a human-to-human level. People generate revenue from speaking, right? I know that many of the speakers on this summit not only have had clients from it, have worked with other people within the speakers community, have had referrals, have had opportunities to speak on podcasts, on events, lives, collaborations, so many things. And for me, that created freedom, right? Now I get paid to speak on stages. I can travel to different places and be seen on stage and use that as a lifestyle. It has been possible because I have been willing to start sharing my story. I stopped hiding from it. How many years I was hiding from my story? Years. How many times I didn't want anyone to find out about it? Many years, until I stood in my own power and in my own truth. So how to become an international speaker will create instant trust. You can, through doing that, know, like, and trust factor, right? So Carrie said, open new doors and opportunities and build that know, like, and trust factor. It creates instant trust. For doing that, you can charge higher prices for your services, right? Because you are seen more valuable, more attractive, more appealing, because you have a purpose of why you do what you do. You're not just selling a product anymore. There is a purpose to your mission. There is a reason why you do it, and you're able to communicate it in a way where people connect. It builds credibility, right? Credibility is everything these days. You know, we can say many things about our businesses, how wonderful they are, but if you don't have credibility, nobody is going to come and buy from you. And it's a process, right? And it's going to open new opportunities to speaking opportunities. So how to get started with public speaking? So from my experience, I want to share a few things that has helped prepare people for speaking opportunities. So before I have had speaking opportunities, before I was invited to speak on stages, podcasts, and be on this journey today, I actually started You get started by DMing Ray. Thanks, Carolina. That's a good way to start too. You can create your own stage. Before I had stages to speak on, I created my own stages. I didn't always have a stage to speak on. So if you don't have a stage to speak on, if you haven't got those opportunities, invites to events and podcasts, you got to start with sharing your story on social media like I did, right? And this is how me and Carolina connected. Aloha is saying, yes, create your own stage. And Aloha started her own radio station, talking about creating your own stages, being brave and saying, okay, if there isn't a stage to share your story yet, and I say yet because it's going to happen once you start. Once I started creating these events, like being on this Les Brown training, he said to me, wow, you have all these women on your platform, you host events. Let me bring you onto my platform and showcase what you do. Let me get you onto my stage to speak because I think you have a story, you have something in you that I see, right? So before that, all of this happened, I started creating my own stage. That was Women in Business events back in 2017, 2018. I started to run workshops. I started to do social media lives. When Clubhouse came out, I started to jump on Clubhouse and start to create these connections, networking, and then being open to new opportunities, having real, authentic, raw conversations. Imagine, when you share your story, I remember when I used to share my story in Clubhouse, my DMs would just blow up because all of a sudden people feel something, right? So create your own events, summits. You can start your own podcast, your own YouTube channel, your videos. Just do it. Just practice it, because every time you speak is a practice and opportunity for your story to get out there. Because when event organizer or someone who has a podcast wants to check you out and you don't have any content on your social media, and drop me in the comments below if you have already created your own stage. And if you have, let me know what it is. So I want other people to see in this workshop right now, what stages have you already been able to create before you even started to wait for speaking opportunities? How many of these things you have already done? Have you done a Clubhouse before? Social media lives? Have you hosted your own events? You can create your own stage, because when event organizers will come and check you out, they want to see your story already shared. They want to see you already have that speaking experience. And it starts small. It starts really small. And then as you get to land more speaking opportunities, you get referrals. Other people start to talk about you, right? What are you known for? Amazing. Carrie says social media lives, Facebook groups where I go live on a regular basis. Really small steps, baby steps. Yeah, right. Where are you sharing? Even if it's a private forums, right? Denise, you share your story within our Women in Business Club, within our private forums. But even that, even if 5, 6, 10 people get to hear your story and they feel inspired, that's 5 new people. That's could possibly be a referral. They could have a podcast. But what are you committing to doing today? What stage can you create today? And I know Romel's here. Romel just started a podcast, right? Again, everything just moves towards the same direction of you sharing your story, becoming an expert in what you do. Thanks, Romel. Loving this talk on a school run, so I can't interact as much, but I created a podcast and I was able to join you incredible women on this stage. Exactly, right? And Ramel, you didn't have this in your vision that you would become a speaker, but it's a process. You evolve. So find other stages to speak on, make connections with people, research your industry, see what industry events are happening, where your expertise could add value. Just yesterday, one of my friends and speakers from the previous summit have said to me, hey, I have a big summit coming up in May. Would you like to apply? She literally tagged me and she said, can you please apply? I said, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to make it, but I'll share it with my speakers, because I already have 30 speakers on the summit who I'm sure would benefit from that speaking opportunity. And that's hundreds, if not thousands of people on her platform, right? So ask within your own networks, research the industry, connect with event speakers and organizers, and be part of their events. Be part of their events, because when the speaker's seeing you, like right now, and I was seeing a post I did last year from one of the panels, and I saw Tanel. And Tanel is one of our speakers this year, and actually I didn't know that, and because she wasn't on camera last year looking after her children. But I was talking to Tanel yesterday, and I said, Tanel, you were an attendee last year at our event. She said, yeah, I was. I just couldn't be on camera. But she attended last year's event, and this year she applied and pitched herself, and she has been featured on our platform. Ah, hi Tanel. See, I'm mentioning names. I'm dropping names of you girls. It's an experience. It's a learning experience. And being part of a community is like women in business. So what do you need as a speaker? There are a few things that you may, and I'm so mindful of time, just making sure. If you have questions, drop in a chat and let me know if there is something you would like for me to address. What are you committing? What stages are you going to be committing yourself or building that vision out that you want to speak on, right? Maybe it's a TEDx stage. I've always wanted to do a TEDx. I always had it on my vision board. I was like, I want to do TEDx talk. And actually I have some friends that trains people to be on TEDx stages. And hopefully one day I will, when I have that time to craft and dedicate. But here's what you need. Whether it's a TEDx talk, whether it's an event, whether it's just a live or a podcast, you want to have a story. That story, whatever you've gone through. And how does that story bring value to someone? Even if you're doing a social media live, you want to be intentional. What am I sharing? Who is it for? And what value is going to be delivering, right? And my mentor always says, never make a point without a story, and never tell a story without a point. Because what is the point of you making a point and not having a story to back it up with, right? Is it a fact? Is it a fiction? I don't know. But if you can back it up with a story of your own experience, a story of your clients' experiences, of things that they have been able to experience, or yourself, that point becomes so much more valuable. Credibility, right? Building credibility. I want put in a chat, credibility, right? Never tell a story without a point, and never make a point without a story. I want to do a TEDx as well. Yes, Carrie says credibility. Carolina, credibility. It builds your credibility. What's the point of you sharing this story? Or what's the point of you making this point if you can't back it up? Build your credibility, build your expert status, build that community of people who are going to be cheering you on and sharing your story far and wide. So you want to be, especially for those who are stepping up their game in their speaking careers, you want to have defined topics. And what I have seen on the summit, the more specific your topic is, the more value driven and people know what to get out of it. Like today, like in this particular session, you are here because you're thinking about becoming a speaker, or you want to elevate into an international speaker. You want to have defined topics. Because if you're not being specific about what your talk delivers and you're being very vague, no one is going to sign up for it. No one is going to be interested in attending the events to hear your talk. So it has to show, why is it valuable? Why should people spend their valuable time to be there and listen to it? Credibility. Claudia says, storytelling touches our humanity. It goes back to times when we sat around fire. It's myths that connects us. Yes, I love that. I love that. You'll be surprised how many people don't have professional photos, and just how important they are for your personal brand. So if you're able to, and actually there has been some speakers I have had to put them on hold. Even during our interview process, they were amazing, so inspiring. But I have had to put them on hold. One, some didn't have enough experience. Two, because they haven't built that credibility. Three, because they didn't have those professional photos. It sounds simple, but it's needed. It's going to showcase you as a brand. Do you show up professionally? How much do you care about how you're being represented, right? If I am representing you to my 600,000 our 600,000 followers, I want to make sure that you're being seen in the best light possible. So professional pictures are just so, so important. You want to have a powerful speaker bio because, again, bio is what people know about you as an expert. Is it elevating you? Is it showcasing you as an expert? Once you get further forward, you want to look at speaker reels. So take all the speaking experience that you have done up to date and put together short reels, like a sizzle reel, to show what you're capable of. Because those assets that you build, like testimonials, like pictures of you standing on stage, videos of you sharing your story, clips of your story, these are all the assets that will help you position yourself not just as a speaker, but an international caliber speaker, where you get to when you get invited to speak on stages globally, right? So collect all of those assets as you go along and create a little bank of it so you can use them, chop them, and create little marketing materials of why you are a speaker. You want to have social media presence. That's really important. Some summits actually say to you, you got to have 5,000 followers or a certain amount of followers or email list in order to be on that stage. We don't do that because I want to see every woman's story being shared on stage. It doesn't matter whether you have an email list or not. But for me, it comes back to one, your story, right? Your willingness to go deep and vulnerable with your story, because this is what connects with audience, and credibility. Credibility. If you're not credible, how can you be seen on stage? If you haven't built or if you haven't done what you're preaching other people to do, how can somebody say, I can back this, because they can't see the track record of you doing it? So credibility and authority through your own experience, through doing, through persevering and showing the results in your own experience. So speaking opportunities. So how about being featured as a speaker on a Women Thrive Summit, maybe a podcast, maybe a live event? Let me know in the comments if that would be something that you would be striving for, right? Let me know in the comments, say yes if you would like to be featured on the Women Thrive Summit. Set the intention, because many of the speakers who have been on the stage this year have been in attendance last year. They've been through this journey and they have learned some things. They have invested in themselves through coaching, mentoring programs, speakers. They have bought into some courses, some programs. They worked on themselves. They worked on their mindset. And they have grown. They have built that credibility. They have built that trust. They have built their speaker bios, the assets, the experience, and they've been able to be on this stage. And our stage is not the only stage. There's TEDx stages. There are many other places where your voice can be seen and heard. Carrie says, yes, Denise working on it. I intend to be there next year and help other women thrive. Commit to it. If you want to be on that stage next year, commit to it. Just say, I want to be there. I'm going to be there. So making that commitment. And within the Women Thrive Summit, as we have so many speakers who apply, who want to be on that journey, but actually they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to take that next step. They are not quite ready. And for me, is the biggest shame when I see women with powerful stories. We get like when I put out speaker applications out, I get thousands of comments on these posts, hundreds of messages. And this year alone, we had 400 applicants. Every year we get hundreds of applicants, but a lot of the times these women are not ready. If you want to be positioned for that opportunity, you have to get ready, right? You have to position yourself, because the world isn't going to wait for you. You gotta, what I say, when you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for those opportunities. Let's get in, Denise. Yes, great to see all the aspiring speakers. Yes. So this year we actually, something that I have wanted to do for the longest time, and I wanted to help these women to be ready for that next stage, whether it's for our stage, whether it's for international stages. I wanted to open a speakers academy because I see the value in women being seen on stages, in women sharing their stories and becoming better and becoming positioned as experts, as speakers, using the power of their story to impact others, build their businesses, to be seen, to be liberated. It's time for us to be liberated from, whatever's holding us back. Step up to the plate. We can swing it out the park. Yes. So the Speakers Academy is open right now for enrollment. And during this week, you can enroll to the Women Thrive Summit Speakers Academy and create your signature talk that will impact lives globally, right? So if public speaking is on your agenda for 2022 and beyond, and you want to take a leap into public speaking and turn your passions into signature talks, this might be the program for you. We already have people who enrolled and looking to enroll right now, but Speakers Academy is here to help you build your confidence, your mindset around speaking, becoming an international speaker, help you build those skills, because it's skill set. You don't just become speaker by doing one speaking opportunity. You become speaker by consistently growing, consistently applying yourself, consistently building the wealth of knowledge, expertise. And how many people have had to actually get ready for this speaking opportunity, even on the summit? So I help you prepare your speaker assets, land more speaking opportunities. I'll be opening up my own personal diary, personal black book to organizers that we can pitch you to and recommend you to and position you as an expert. So you can get positioned as an expert and sought after speaker in your industry, keep you accountable to new speaking gigs. So every week I will be encouraging our speakers to apply to different speaking opportunities, put themselves out there and keep track of it. I want at the end of this year, easily you can have 50 speaking opportunities. Imagine you being seen on 50 stages by the end of the year. How much would it transform your business if within every single speaking opportunity you could reach 50 people? Imagine 50 speaking opportunities reaching 50 people on each. And if there is just one person in that room who will follow you through and get into your either program, your coaching, your course, starts to work with you, buy your products, buy your books, how much would that be worth? 50 new clients at the end of the year, right? Massive. So help you craft your signature talk for any possible stage. We'll be talking about 3-minute talks, 5-minute talks, 10-minute talks, 15 keynotes. You want to be prepared, creating workshops so you can deliver those for your audience. Show you how to actually make money. Because if you want to start speaking on stages regularly, you want to be able to also monetize those stages, right? Not just through your story, but there are strategies and things that you can do to start monetizing and driving people into action, right? So develop your voice and your storytelling skills to captivate your audience and move them into action. So this training is for existing speakers and aspiring speakers, authors, experts, coaches, CEOs, and women who are looking to use the power of their stories to turn them into speaking career or opportunity for more visibility and reach. If anybody could click a link or post a link to Women Thrive Summit /speaker-academy, that'd be amazing. If you want to go check it out. Enrollment is open now, and what do you get? You get 2-hour weekly intensive training with me. You get guest experts on our platform. So this is going to help you elevate your authority, elevate your speaker skills and a career. So we'll be doing weekly 2-hour intensive training, accountability. You got a Facebook group, weekly accountability within this group to do your homework, to get feedback on your talks, be part of a container, a community, be part of other speakers who you can learn experiences from and see how they're doing, right? Training templates, resources to help you grow. Monthly speaking events. So through our network, we're going to be creating new monthly events for speakers. We have a private community connections to event organizers. This is something that's going to be happening regularly as new opportunities come to me. I'll be passing on to our speakers within our Women Thrive Speakers Academy. And if you stay within our program for 6 months or more, you will secure your spot on the Women Thrive Summit 2023. So this is your guaranteed spot on the program. And there's an option for upgrade for one-on-one mentoring programs if you want that accountability, monthly one-on-one coaching session, ongoing voice or Voxer support that you can reach out to me at any time. You will get personal feedback on your talks. So a lot of people say to me, oh, can you watch this talk for me and give me some feedback? This is going to be included in your package. And personal recommendations to speaking opportunities, because I get so many people who are asking for speakers. I want to be able to recommend people to different stages. So ladies, let me know if you have any questions. We will have to switch over to another session shortly. It has been, let me know if you have gained value. What was your biggest takeaway from this session right now? How inspired are you to become a speaker, right? How inspired are you to pursue speaking opportunities right now? There are things that you can do with your voice. There is opportunities for your voice to be heard, to be seen. It's not overnight. No, it's not an overnight thing, right? Accountability. And thank you so much, Denise. Appreciate you. Appreciate all being here. You're such a nurturing leader. I know this academy will be amazing. Thanks, Claudia. I love it. I have loved working with the speakers leading up to the summit. But I wanted to continue this journey. And I know so many people come to our summits and they want to take that journey. And this is my way of giving back and being able to support women on this journey, to be able to use my skills and put it into practice so you can actually have those speaking opportunities quite easily, right? I want you within the first month to already start landing speaking opportunities and create our showcase events every month where your voice is being heard and seen. Hey Ray, tuning in from San Diego. Thank you, Angela. Good to see you. You're amazing, girl. Thank you. Definitely inspired to continue my journey with speaking. Amazing. Thank you so much. Carrie says, so much value from you confirming how important it is to share our story. Daniela, thank you, Raimonda. Appreciate it. Brilliant. Thank you, Ray. Definitely want to explore speaking some more. Amazing. Ramel, congratulations on your podcast. I'm really proud of you. Ladies, it's time to switch over to our next session. Next up, we have beautiful Carolina, who will be sharing her story about how she has lost her voice and how dancing has been able to help her regain her voice. I hope you join us on this talk, because this talk, if you're not convinced how powerful your story and your voice can be, I know you hearing Carolina's story will be so inspiring for you to explore this idea of stepping into your power, sharing your story, owning your voice. Because if you have ever lost your voice, if you have ever been told that your story doesn't matter, I think you will hear otherwise from this next speaker of ours. And of course, Carolina is one of our first-time speakers on a platform, and I'd love to have your support for her. Congratulations, Ramel. Thank you, Raimonda. Dancing, yes, you inspire me so much. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. Angelica, yay, vamos. Thank you. Yes, Carolina, let's do this. All right, let's switch over to Carolina's talk. In just 5 minutes, we'll be switching over. We'll see you there, ladies. Thank you so much for your support, encouragement, contribution, being here on this platform. Love you all so much, and we'll see you over into the next talk. Can't wait for Carolina. See you in a bit. Bye. Thanks, Carrie.